And now we are being joined by the one and only Dillon Danis. It's been a while since I've wanted to talk to this man, one of the best grapplers in the sport of MMA. And especially during this whole pandemic, lockdown, quarantine time, he's also developed into one of the biggest trolls in the sport of MMA. Dillon Danis, kind enough to join us here today. Dillon, how are you?
Doing good, Ariel. I wouldn't call myself a troll. I feel like I just speak the truth on some things and people get mad about it and they think I'm messing around. But I usually just tell the truth and people get upset. So I
So
wouldn't
you,
consider myself a troll.
you take that as an insult?
No, I don't take it as an insult, but it's mostly, I mean, sometimes I might troll, but I feel like some of the stuff I just tell the truth on, and a lot of people don't like the truth. So
But you do. I mean, you like to stir the pot, right? Especially
yeah,
online. You're
I
quick on
mean,
the draw. How do you get like sometimes I'll post something and then you show up in the comments like within seconds. How do you have
it's like everybody tags
notifications?
me in it. So I'm like, all right, I know I have to say something. Usually when you post, everybody's like, Dylan Danis, Dylan, because everybody wants to hear from me anyway. So I'm just like, everybody tags me and I'm like, all right, I'll jump in there to see what I have to say.
And you enjoy this, right? Even if you're, ruffling some feathers, I feel like you get a kick out of this.
Yeah, man, I live in New York City. Like, I'm stuck in a 4x4, no, not 4x4 apartment, but like, I'm stuck in an apartment, like, obviously, like, I don't have too much stuff to do. So, like, it's fun to start a little bit here and there, you know what I mean?
At the beginning of all this, like, mid-March, late March, early April, especially when things were really bad in New York, and you were just coming off knee surgery as well. What was that? Because it did seem like you were online a lot, like stirring the pot, but
Yeah.
like in reality, like, did you need that as entertainment? Like, were you starting to go a little
Yeah.
stir crazy?
It's actually, like, it's funny you say that because it's like exactly true. Like, when you're not fighting and you're just sitting inside with an injury, like, you want to be back in the action. So I like getting out there and kind of like, it kind of gives me an adrenaline rush, like I'm fighting. So I like to, stay active and just stimulate my mind in a sense because like when you're inside and can't leave the apartment because New York City was so bad. It was fun to do some stuff like that. So yeah, you're exactly right.
Okay, so what happened with the knee? Because you injured it last June, right? In your
Yeah.
last fight, and then you had surgery, and then did you have to have a second surgery?
So this was the other knee. I didn't get
Oh,
surgery after the last one. I kind of just let it heal by itself. But this was the other knee. Yeah, this was a week before my last fight when I was gonna fight in LA. Training, I heard really bad, but yeah, knee injuries are tough. I'm not gonna lie, they're tough, but trying to do as best as I can.
do you think that you injured the other knee because of the original injury? Like sometimes you overcompensate, right? And it happens where like the other leg gets hurt. Do you think that happened?
I think it's just, man, I've been training for 12 years now since I was a kid, like hard every day. I feel like my body was just kind of, I needed, when you're younger, you kind of don't do the right things, like stretching and this kind of stuff. I feel like now I'm starting to get older and eating healthier and stretching and doing more of the stuff that you have to do for your body. I think I was just kind of winging it to like when you're younger, you could do whatever you want. So I feel like now getting older, you have to treat your body a little bit better than when you were 20 or 19.
So the surgery that you had, when was that? In February or March?
March, I think March 6th.
Right. So like literally right before all of this, right?
Yeah. So it was right there. It was when I was in the hospital, everything in New York City kind of closed down and everything like that.
What kind of surgery was it?
I don't want to go too much into it, but I got three ligaments worked on. It was supposed to be a 3 to 4 hour surgery, but ended up being 7.5 hours, which is
Wow.
pretty crazy. Yeah, it was a long, intensive surgery. Um, but yeah, I mean, I'm definitely getting a lot better now. It's been hard with like the coronavirus because I can't really go to like the doctors and the hospitals and stuff like that because everything's kind of closed down. But I've been doing my own stuff at home and reading books and doing everything I can to get back as soon as possible.
And what did they say in terms of recovery time? Like when would you be 100% after a surgery like that?
So people say like a lot like 6 to 8 months, but right now I'm doing I can get back. I want to get a fight before the end of the year 100%. That's my goal right now. I want to get one fight in before the end of the year, and I already talked to Bellator. We're on track to do it. So you know, I feel like with knee injuries, it's all about mental and physical, but I really feel like I can get back as soon as possible.
Was this the first surgery of your life?
Not in yeah for like injury wise, yeah it was, but I had other surgeries before like appendix and stuff like that. But for getting hurt, yeah it was.
And so if like from a percentage standpoint, if we were to say, where are you at right now? 85%, 90%, 75%, where would you be?
I'm saying I'm about 50 right now, but
Oh, okay.
maybe a little bit. Yeah, but I mean maybe a little bit more. Just to my ability, I feel like I'm 50. I feel that it's gonna get a lot better soon though. Like I'm working out a lot every day, wake up, do all my workouts and stuff like that. So it's just a matter of time.
So if we're talking 6-8 months, and then we're talking about the fact that you haven't fought since last June, will this be the longest stretch in your life where you haven't been in an active competition?
That and without training, this is the longest. I don't think I've ever gone maybe I would say 2 weeks at most without training every day.
Wow.
Probably less, but this is the first time I'm going crazy. Like I have so much energy because I'm used to training like 3 times a day, like 8 hours all day long. So like it's terrible. Feel bad for my girlfriend.
What do you mean?
You know what I mean? I take it,
Okay. And of course, when I say of your life, I obviously when you were a kid, things were different. I meant like, as a professional, as you became an athlete and whatnot.
Yeah.
And so are you at all worried that this will hinder, like, do you suspect that you'll be back to 100%, or are you worried about long-term effects here?
The thing is too, like with the guys that I fight in like any competition, I don't need to be 100%. I feel like I'm that good that I don't know. I know my ability, and I like right now, even with my knee like this, if I had to get in a street fight with like Masvidal or something like that, it would be easy. So, but no, I'm serious.
What are you talking
about?
If you had to get into a street fight with Masvidal right now in your given state, it would be easy.
Yeah, it would. I would take this leg off and beat him with it. Come on. Like me and him met in New York City streets or like Miami. Like, I seen him before in Miami. He didn't do anything. He left the club. So.
What's the beef with Masvidal? I didn't know Masvidal was on the hit list.
You know that. Come on, it was all over.
Okay.
He was the one say he. So me and Masvidal had like a weird past, but it's funny.
What's the past?
Like, just like a couple times, me and him had beef. One time, I'm not going to say the UFC fighter that I went on a date with, but I had to go to the UFC retreat. Like, do you remember when they used to have like
yes,
those, like
you were there?
So me and my friend went because one of the UFC fighters I was going on a date with, this girl, she was at the bar there and she called us to go there. So it was funny. Masvidal was there and he was like eyeing me down, like he wanted to fight me and this and that. And he ended up doing nothing. Like, I literally went into a UFC retreat. Think about this. I go to the bar, every single UFC fighter's there. No one said anything. They were actually very, very nice to me, saying like, "Oh, you're the man, this and that." Was on the date with the girl, and then no one did anything. Masvidal was there, Jeremy Stevens, every single UFC fighter went right into their territory. Nothing happened. And then another time, I seen Masvidal. I seen him a couple times. So then another time I seen Masvidal was in a club, I think in Miami, and I didn't even know he was there. So then I went to my table and they were like, "Oh, Masvidal's there, or whatever." And I was like, "Oh, whatever." So they started bringing like a lot of like attention to me. They were bringing signs up in the club and stuff like that. He just got up and left. I swear to God on my life, swear on anything. Got up and left, and I think he got upset because he's in Miami and I was getting more love. No one even knew who he was. When I walked in, they had the girls with the signs and everything, and no one even knew who he was. I think he got upset that it was like, this is right after he knocked out Ben Askren.
Oh,
and
wow.
He just left the club. Yeah. And then, so he always says like this stuff. And then at the Conor and Cerrone weigh-in, he was sitting in front. So they brought me in with security, right? And they sit me, and I saw him in front of me. So then all of a sudden, all the UFC security comes up to me, and they're like, he said that this and that. Like he was like making a scene about it. I didn't even care. I was like, whatever, this guy. And they're like, if you even look at him, they're gonna pull all your credentials in the UFC. Like you're never gonna be able to come this and that. I'm like, what the fuck? Like this guy's being so like saying that I can't look at him and like like trying to start. Then he wanted to bring the suits into it. You know what I mean? Like, I thought you're a street fighter. Like just pull the trigger and fight me. Or don't say anything and I'll fight you. But like, why even get the UFC security to come to what take? So they fucking made a line around me and everything. I'm like, bro, like
really?
I swear to God.
I didn't see any of this.
I swear it was, and they were like, "Yo, if you like say anything, because like they know me." They said if I say anything to him, and they're gonna pull my credentials for the rest of my life. And I'm like, "What the fuck? Like, really gonna bring the suits into this, man?" Like, I don't know. I thought you were a street fighter.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So because I was gonna. Okay. So in the midst of all this, a lot of feuds have been brewing with you.
Yeah.
Ryan Garcia. What's the issue there?
He came at me.
He started.
I'm pretty sure he started, or I said something and he like came back at me, and then dude, he gets the most engagement he's ever gotten in his life when he talks about me. And dude, if I fought him in an MMA fight like he says, I think boxing would go out of it wouldn't be a sport anymore. The things I would like do to him in the cage would be so bad. Like, I would literally
in a boxing match you couldn't hang with him, right?
No,
like, you can see that.
Stop. I bet you I could bet any amount of money that I have that he would not beat me in a boxing match. You see the size of him? Yeah, everybody thinks like my boxing is bad. I swear on anything.
No, but I mean, he's a professional boxer. You have
Doesn't
2
matter.
MMA fights.
He's not tough. Look at the kid. Like, look at me and then look at him. Like, he has no toughness in him. I bet you anything I would break him before he broke me. He might hit me with a lot of shots, but I got a big head. He's not going to put me down. And then imagine an MMA fight. I'll do a boxing fight with him. Swear to God, I told him. He offered, like, they didn't offer me, but, like, he wants to play it out there. Like, offer me on Twitter. Let's do it. But imagine the difference. Okay, so even if we did a boxing match, right? Like, he would not knock me out 100%. Imagine we did an MMA fight. What would happen to him?
Yeah,
I'd be like holding him on the ground and slapping him until I wouldn't finish him. I would just make him like, oh, it'd be so bad. Boxing wouldn't even be a sport anymore. No one would even watch it because they could see what would happen to a boxer in an MMA fight.
Now I have a hard time distinguishing between the brothers, Jake and Logan Paul. Which one do you have the beef with, or do you have the beef with both of them?
Yeah, both of them like to talk about me. I don't know, but Jake is the one that really wants to fight me. Logan wants to fight me in MMA, but they both know like I'm the only one that makes sense in MMA. There's no one else that has a name like me, so they didn't want to fight me.
I feel like that's the one that had the most traction, maybe because of the Bellator, like Coker would have been into it. I don't know. It felt like that was the one that had the most chance of happening.
Logan Paul was beating Paulo Costa in a training session. Like,
well, that was fake. That was fake. You know that was fake.
Okay, so no, not even that. The wrestling one. I don't know how they fake that. Like, imagine being me or any MMA fighter and faking it with like Logan Paul, like training, like where he's like beating me. Like, how embarrassing is that? Like, you imagine me going to the gym with Jake Paul and like, yo, I was trained, but like, yo, I'm gonna let you beat me up a little bit just for like the cameras. It's like, come on, like, who even does that? You know, like,
were there any talks of making these fights happen?
Yeah, 100%. I've had Eddie Hearn has talked to me before about Logan Paul. Yeah, we talked. And then they have reached out, so like it will happen, 100%. One of them will happen. I mean,
Eddie Hearn, did he reach out for boxing or for MMA?
I think it might have been boxing. I'm not sure. I forgot what it was. It was a while back. This is when you were on his show, and then after we started talking a little bit. But
I picked the brother to win.
Yeah, I know.
Were you okay with that?
You know what would really happen. You also think Ryan Garcia would knock me out, but like,
yes, I do.
We're talking about reality, right? Like, if you, okay, let me ask you a question. If me and Ryan Garcia were in the middle of the street, who would you pick in a fight?
That's different because that's anything goes, right? You could take him down, you could submit him. If it's I'm saying in a boxing match. I'm saying boxing match.
Come on. In a boxing match, I would take it.
You see how fast his hands are?
Huh?
You see how fast his hands are?
Yeah, he has no power.
Yeah, but I feel
it's like a fly hitting you.
And also, he does have power. He's knocked people out.
Yeah, guys are freaking. They pick up off the street and throw him in there for him. Come on. Who was he beat? I don't know.
That reminds me. That reminds me of the guys that they have you fight in Bellator.
They all have winning records. Come on, you know that. What's it called? Okay, well, let me ask you something about some. And look at any UFC fighter that the guys that talk to me, or any MMA fighter who has had their first 2 fights. My 2 first fights have better records than any guys. Look at Ben Askren. The first 2 guys he fought was, I think, 0-3, and then 1-2, and then 1-4. Guy that everybody's talking about in the UFC. I don't know what the hell the guy's name is.
Well, that was my next. I was going to bring up.
What's his name? Jizmat?
No, Khamzat Chimaev.
Yeah, whatever.
What's your beef with him? What's your beef with him?
He's terrible. Like, and people are giving him on. I'm like, bro, this guy's so bad. Like, if I fought him, I would lay on my back when the fight starts because he says he's good at grappling, and I bet he wouldn't even come close to me. Like, he's terrible. Like, come on, that guy's so bad. And I'm saying,
do you have an actual beef with the guy, or is this just like?
He said that if he saw me, he would fight me in the street or something. He's a nobody, bro. Come on.
You're not impressed with what he's done. I mean, his last fight, Rhys McKee didn't throw or land a punch.
Come on. What happened to that was Rhys McKee. It was like a Reese's cup. What the f is that? But I'm saying, like, dude, in grappling and ADCC, like, we fight way better guys in the same day. He's talking about a week difference. Like, the guy, like, I mean, he did fight John Phillips. John Phillips is one of my training partners.
Yeah.
He's a heavy hitter. I'll give him credit on that. I like John Phillips a lot. He's a tough motherfucker. But like, people are saying, like, I don't know. It's just, I feel like the hype is definitely fake. I'm telling you, if you want to fight, what's it called? I'll start on my back because he wants to take everybody on anyway. We'll see what happens. I would submit him easily.
With Khamzat. You mentioned about the winning records for guys making their debut. Worth noting, Brock Lesnar fought Frank Mir in his second pro fight.
I mean, come on.
Former UFC heavyweight champion.
Come on, stop.
That's just one that came to mind.
Okay, I'll give you the Brock Lesnar one. Okay, but come on, like, and then he fought Randy Couture. It was like,
Yeah. Well, then he fought Heath Herring, then Randy Couture.
Oh yeah, Heath Herring. Who did Heath Herring beat in the UFC?
No, he was. I mean, Heath Herring's a
He was
legend.
good in his back in his day. He was a journeyman, but I love Heath Herring, but he didn't beat anybody in the UFC. He got dropped by Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar throws with his arms. He's not even throwing punches. Like,
No, I understand. I understand what you're trying to say. So okay, we've addressed.
Imagine if I fought Brock Lesnar. People, and I have said this before. I bet you $1 million. If I come on, like,
Okay, now I know you've
you're
really
talking
lost
about heavyweight, bro. Heavyweights are not like that. Come on.
You're saying you would beat Brock Lesnar, open weight fight?
You're serious?
Yeah. How much do you weigh?
No time limit?
No time limit.
Because he might try to hold me down a little bit, but no time limit. I'll end up submitting him. 100%.
Out of training camp, how much do you weigh?
190s, 180s. It depends. I want to fight 155 one day. Hopefully,
you want to go down to 55. Why?
I think one day maybe it would be cool.
You had success at 170. Why?
No, yeah. I want to I think get a belt at 170 and then maybe 155 later on though. I don't know. I just feel like I don't know. I feel like sometimes I don't eat the healthiest. I eat a lot of pizza and stuff. So I feel like if I went all out eating healthy, I feel like my body would just kind of form into that. But, I mean, it's just a thought. Who knows? I mean, there's so many people that call me out. I would like to eventually get everybody, which will happen.
Why do you have to go? Why do you have to go after Aspen Ladd? She's so nice.
She came after me. Come
on.
Did she? Yeah, she did. I posted something and then she said something about being lonely or you're gonna be lonely. I don't know, some stupid. And then I looked and I went on her Instagram for some reason. I hit the message and that was a DM that she sent me.
Stop.
I was like, okay, I don't know how to fake a DM. That was real. Swear to
God. So we haven't seen you since last June. You had the surgery. You were going to fight in January, but I was told, okay, so someone sent me a message about this, that when Conor fought in Vegas in January that night, that you got into a fracas at the Wynn Hotel and that you were eventually cited for battery, but the case was dismissed and it's not on your record anymore and all that stuff. But we got the paperwork. Mark Ramundi and I, spoke to the officials over there in Las Vegas. What happened there? Did something happen with you? Because someone sent me some info. We looked into it, and it seemed like there was something that happened, but it's no longer a thing anymore.
No, like they say, man, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. That's all I'm going to say.
So something did happen.
I don't know.
What do you mean? So, I mean, that is kind of a conference. I respect the fact that you don't want to talk about it, but can you confirm that there was an incident in Vegas that it's no longer a thing now?
I don't know.
All right. You don't want to talk about it. All right. Fair enough. Good. Yeah. Is everything okay now?
All good.
No problems?
Yeah, no.
No pending issues? No, I mean no pending issues or anything like that?
No, all good.
Okay. What about, we've talked about a lot of people here, a lot of people who aren't in Bellator. Is there anyone in Bellator that makes sense for your comeback fight?
It's funny because a lot of people always say they call someone, but I feel like right now in Bellator, even at 170, there's no one that has the kind of hype or, that I bring to the table. So I feel like these guys that want to call me out, they're all no one even knows who they are. They're 500 followers or something like that. And whenever they call my name out, they'll get a lot of traction, but it's not fun for me. It'd be I don't know how to compare it, but it'd be if the Yankees were going to play the little league in Hoboken or something. They want to get worked up for it. They want to be they're not going to jump out of their bed at 6 a.m. for it. So when I have a worthy opponent and someone that is really good or someone that has a lot of hype, it excites me. So I feel
you bored in Bellator?
Huh?
Are you bored in Bellator?
No, not bored. I'm just saying. I'm just waiting for the right one. I mean, I'm still gonna keep doing my thing. I love Scott Coker. He's a man. I can't say anything about it. All Bellator. They're the best company, man. They're great. But I'm just gonna, I feel like some of these guys, I feel like I don't know how to explain, but they don't know what they're doing. They don't know how to build up fights. They don't know how to do anything. So it's just one day someone will kind of come with the, I don't know, the thing that I'm looking for. But right now I'm just gonna keep doing my thing. I'm gonna get that belt and then we'll go from there.
But there's no one even in your mind. Okay, it's all well and good.
You know what I do? I see the John Fitch fight happening. I want to fight John Fitch. I said that before.
Interesting.
Yeah, and then Douglas Lima, I would like to have that fight. The funny thing is, if I said was fight Douglas Lima tomorrow, Douglas Lima would fight me. He calls me out all the time. He's the champion. He would fight me in a heartbeat. So I know that fight's always there. Yeah, but we'll see. I have a couple fights on my mind that I want to do.
Do you want to share them?
I feel like I got to keep some tricks in the bag. You know what I mean?
I mean,
we talked about a lot. I say the Ryan Garcia fight will happen. I say all these fights will happen.
You think it'll really happen?
I 100% truly feel like it will happen. I mean, on my end, it will happen. I'll tell you that much.
I mean, he has to show up for it to actually happen.
Or I just show up in the gym. Either one. I take out his whole team.
I'd love to see you versus Tyron Woodley. You were getting under his skin as well at the beginning of all this. Every time, he's doing an IG, you show up there. Even, and by the way, even when he lost,
he's on a losing streak, and then he just lost on the contender to a teacher.
No, but listen,
like now it's not enticing anymore. Come on, these guys have to keep winning to keep me.
What do you mean to a teacher?
He lost to like a math teacher on that contender thing. He just did
like the Titan games.
Yeah. He lost to like a math teacher in the athletic ability contest. It's like I feel bad if I fought someone like that.
No, but even when he lost, he's on his IG, and then you show up to troll him, and he even gives you props, and then
I'll give you this. Okay, so I wouldn't
give the guy some space.
Mess with him. I didn't even mess with him. I just said falling in and all love or something. And then he was like, yo, like whatever, I'll show him love. And then I was like, yo, I gave him credit on Twitter for being like, like a good sport. And then he blocked me, and I was like, all right, this guy, bro, like who blocks people on Twitter? And then I was like, whatever, like so like I don't have any more respect for him. I had respect for him for like 20 seconds, and then I lost it when he blocked me. I was like, just let it go, bro.
Kevin Lee's another one that you constantly troll.
I don't know, Kevin Lee. You see all these guys, they were at they had their moments, but now they're just
you've moved on.
That guillotine he got subbed by was ridiculous. I have my thoughts on all this stuff, but yeah, I'm moving on to bigger, better things now.
Maybe Kamaru Usman. How do you think that would go?
He's such a boring fighter, though. Why not? I say one day the Bellator UFC cross promotion will happen, and who's a bigger name than me? They're gonna make me fight Usman. That's fine. I'll be ready for it. I don't even need to be in training camp for Usman. Come on. Like, what does he bring to the table? Tell me. Well, he's a wrestler. He's gonna take you down. That's what I want. It's perfect. And then we want to strike. He's not gonna do anything on me on the feet. He's gonna end up trying to take me down. It's an easy submission.
And then you took things too far when you went after Nate Robinson.
No. So the Nate Robinson story, I didn't say this on Twitter. So remember when he got cut from the NBA? He got cut from the NBA.
Not cut. I mean, he just kind of
let go.
I mean, the career ran its course.
No, come on. He's 32. What was he, 33? So how's it run his course? So anyway, so after that, he tried joining our recreational basketball team at the YMCA. We gave him a contract. He was playing for like a couple games. He was so bad, so we ended up cutting him too.
Who's we?
That's like our team at the YMCA. We had like a good team, yeah. So we gave him a contract, like a 3-day contract, because they're like, these guys got cut. Like he's probably not that good, and he was lackluster and not like no fucking effort. So we ended up cutting him too, and that's what he has beef with me still because he got cut from my team. So like that's the thing is like he wants to come at me now. I'm like, what the hell did I do? But then I realized that was that one time I cut him from the YMCA team.
Who do you think wins in that fight? And that's Jake Paul, right?
I hope Jake wins, so then our fight can still happen. Because if he loses that, then it's not happening. Right. I'll tell you that right now. It's definitely not happening. But I feel like Nate Robinson will beat him.
Really?
I think he's a good enough athlete because Jake Paul is just Jake Paul, and like Nate Robinson is a good athlete. So let's see. I think he can beat him if he takes it serious. And he said he wants me after. So if Nate Robinson wins, maybe we can pull that off.
So we've mentioned a lot of people and you usually get one up on them, but you have to admit the one that you did not score any points on was El Nadiz. I mean, what a comeback that was. What a comeback.
Because if you make fun of Dillon Danis, people love it. So it's not fair. Your comeback wasn't as good as mine.
Oh my gosh.
I'll give you the people got behind you on that one, but it wasn't.
I mean, did you see the like to retweet ratio there? I mean, it was just
I tell you what, because anybody says my name, like it blows up. So I'll give you that. But like my comebacks were way better than the other two. I got like
no, because then you went personal. Then you started like making fun of my family. That was just
I would never do that. I would never do that. It was a sim joke. That wasn't a family joke.
I don't even know what that means.
So what's
no, I don't know what that means. Like non-simps don't deal with simp type things.
Or it's like simps don't know they're simps.
Okay, fair enough. So perfect world, comeback fight whenever you come back 6 to 8 months. I mean, from the surgery. So that would, that would mean maybe end of the year. What's the perfect scenario for you? Dillon Danis's big return after all this trash talking, all this trolling, all this activity online. How do you come back? We can't come back against like some 500 fighter, right? It just has to be a big deal.
My perfect scenario, it's tough. There's so many big names, names that we talk about and like this and that. I don't know, man. It's hard, but I feel like
you have to have a name.
the fight I really want, because he has popularity and like he wants to fight me. I feel like the cross promotion of me and Ryan Garcia in MMA, I think would be a fun one. I really do. And I'll go down a weight just to meet him at weight. I'll meet him at whatever way he wants to fight, and let's do it. Why not? I mean, I feel like it would be a fun one. We could do it one night boxing, the next night MMA, or either one.
All right. That would be cool.
Or who would be a crazy one to come back to? Because I just saw an article today of Ben Askren saying that he'll take a fight again. It's me and Ben Askren.
Really?
Think about it. He's retired. They could sign him to Bellator. Why not? He just said that I'll come back for the right money fight. He always calls me out.
Yes.
So that would be a great one.
I'll be talking to him on Monday. I can get his response.
He fluffs it. He's like saying he needs a freaking hip surgery. Then he's throwing freaking frisbee full force, and then come on.
So that's the one. This is Ben Askren.
Yeah, and we were going to do a grappling match. We were going to do a bunch of press conferences. They came to my gym to talk to me about it, and I said, yes, let's do it. And then we were going to do a wrestling match, and I don't know. I think that would be a fun one. Why not? I would 100% do that, or other stuff. But I feel like that would be a good one. That's a big name. It's perfect. Good record. Why not? Let's do it.
Okay. Oh, and by the way, before I let you go, just curious, because I know our producer here is a big fan. How did you feel about your girlfriend going on the very popular Call Her Daddy podcast? How'd you feel about that?
Yeah, maybe it was good. I think she did a good job. I think it was fun to listen to. You know what I mean?
I couldn't listen to it. I couldn't.
Yeah, most of my friends can hear like that's like my sister. I'm like, yeah, I know. So
no,
it is what it is. Like nowadays, like I don't mind, to be honest. I have enough confidence in myself. Like I'm not insecure. I don't really care. She could do what she wants. I was happy with her. It's a big opportunity with like one of the biggest, probably I think it's number 2 podcast in the whole world. So
behind this one.
Yeah, exactly. And I was happy for her. I mean, obviously, as a man, you get a little bit nervous, your girlfriend talking about that stuff. But no, I have no doubt in what she would say and stuff like that.
Okay. Well, good to catch up with you, Dillon. We've been through a lot over the past few months, and I feel like we've accomplished a lot here. And I'm glad to hear that you're feeling better, in good spirits, mentally and physically. And I hope to actually see you back in there in an actual real fight in the near 100%. Future, as opposed to
me too. Trust me. Like everybody's saying fight. I feel like I want to fight. Trust me, I'm itching to fight. Been playing VR, boxing, and doing like whatever I can, man.
You need to get one of those Helwani boxing things,
Yeah, I know. I've actually liked doing that, but like the last time I did, I hit it too hard because of my power, and it knocked it off the thing. It came off. Swear to God. So I hit it like really hard, and then just came off. I'm not like you guys, the little power, the little fly, like Ryan Garcia,
Right. Thank you, Dillon. Talk to you soon.
Appreciate it.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.